Saints TV Weekly is proudly caffeinated by Inglewood Coffee Roasters in Mount Waverley. Head on over to www.inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au and use the discount code SAINTS30 to get 30% off all of their delicious coffee products. Enjoy. Hey Sainers, welcome back to another episode of Saints TV Weekly. Another week, another Saints TV Weekly. Now last week, it was a bit of a quiet week. There wasn't much going on. We kind of worked our way through the episode, but this week, there's a little bit to get through. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. So the first piece of news, and I guess it is, it's actually a player coming to the club. You know, that's the first this year. We've been very quiet in the trade window and delisted free agency window so far. But what we have done is we've brought in former North Melbourne ruckman Tom Campbell. He has joined St Kilda as a delisted free agent. James Gallagher has said stability in our ruck is extremely important for us, and we believe Tom will provide important depth, competitiveness and flexibility to allow us to maintain our structure next season. So he's not our first string, not our second string. He's barely our third string, and he'll only be, thrown into the deep end in the first team if we have injuries. Fingers crossed, and touch wood, we don't. He's not the player that should be generating all of this negativity straight off the bat. There's been a lot of comments online and a lot of people really upset, basically saying that this has stuffed our future and why aren't we going to the future, and people forget we even have Max Heath, and he's the future. But right now, Campbell is just there probably for 1 year deal, like we've done with a lot of rucks recently. And he is an upgrade, I think, on Paul Hunter. No disrespect to Paul Hunter, but I think that he offers a bit more going forward. He can take a mark, and he's got a bit more physicality about him. He likes to throw his weight around, and just looking at him, you can tell he's going to be a bit more physical than Paul Hunter. So it's a pickup, costs us really nothing. He'll be on pretty low salary, I would imagine. And it would be a 1 year deal. And after that, depending on what happens next year, we'll look for the future. And we can go for those sort of rucks that we probably wanted this year, but we just didn't have the collateral to get. So out of what was available, he was probably the most logical and the cheapest, and we went with that. So I don't see it as a major issue. And hopefully, if we do see him play a couple of times this year, he'll be okay. Now, in some other really good news, a bit of a long time coming. 6 clubs have confirmed their elevations of 7 rookies for next season. Obviously, St Kilda being one of those 6 clubs. And we can all guess who that is. Cal Wilkie. So congratulations to Cal Wilkie. He has played 63 consecutive games since debuting in round 1, 2019. So that's impressive. He's 25 years old. He's held down a rookie position since 2019, obviously, but this year, when the list lodgement opens on November 10, he will be elevated to the primary list and not a rookie anymore. So that's huge for him. One of the most important players in our team now at 25. Leadership group as well. He's got all the qualities we want in a St Kilda player, and this is, long overdue and well deserved from Cal Wilkie. So congrats to Cal Wilkie on being elevated to the primary list for St Kilda for season 2022. Geez, the good news just continues, guys. I mean, this is a good news sort of feel good sort of Saints TV Weekly. I'm liking it. I'm liking the vibe. Some more good news is that when the finances for AFL teams is released in the next month, St Kilda is set to announce a reduction of more than $3 million from their debt. That's amazing. I think the overall debt now will be less than 10 million. That's been something that's kind of been over the head of the club and kind of weighing down on us and all the good that we've been doing. The fact that we've been able to do that, we're opening the Danny Frawley Centre, we're pushing to get a pre-season game at RCA Park, and that's, I think, yet to be approved by the AFL. I think the fact that we've done that and we're pushing to get a pre-season game going into 2022 AFL pre-season and getting 10,000 spectators to Moorabbin, I think that's awesome, and I'm loving that ambition from the club. So this is a really good start, and hopefully the AFL will approve and we can go and watch the boys play at RCA Park in pre-season in 2022. Honestly, the good news has to stop. There's got to be a bad article in here somewhere. There has to be. Some more good news on top of the already really good news that I've mentioned. Jason Blake, former St Kilda defender and life member, Jason Blake has been nominated to join the club's board of directors at next month's annual general meeting. We've all talked about Grant Thomas and Larry Bang and all the stuff going on there with the board and everything. But due to retiring director Danny Roach, who is stepping down after serving 9 years as club director, Andrew Bassett has pretty much just expressed his appreciation for Danny, but also nominated Jason Blake be the person to come in and take that position. And that's really because of Jason Blake's experience on field. He was very good, very professional, very diligent. This is straight from Andrew Bassett. And he said, while off field, his commitment to his teammates and his club were undeniable, as was his advocacy on behalf of all players via his role as director of the AFLPA when he was director of the AFLPA. He's generally known as a very smart person. He's a Saints man through and through. And he's one of the fan favourites and kind of one of those underrated stars that we had in that period when we were making grand finals, because we could play him down back. He could be a winger. He was tall enough, but his endurance was good enough, and he could go into the ruck. It's on Jason Blake now, I believe, to respond, but when we have the AGM, which is held on Thursday, 16th of December, we will hopefully appoint Jason Blake as part of the board, which would be really exciting news for the club. Just a quick announcement for everyone, if you haven't already heard, that RCA Park, thanks to the easing of government restrictions, will reopen on November 8th. That is today, actually. I didn't even know that. It is opening. Obviously, you have to be fully vaccinated to get in and enjoy it, and go and check out all the memorabilia and the cafe and the social club and the Saints locker there and buy some merch. So really exciting times, and hopefully we'll all get together in the start of 2022 when hopefully the AFL will approve a preseason game. We can go there and watch the boys. Last piece of news, just AFLW news now, just some quick news. The AFLW competition has ruled out the use of a medical sub for season 2022. I believe they're running 16 on the field with 5 on the bench. That's something they trialled last year, I believe. I personally don't really like the medical sub. I prefer to go, you're on field, you've got the players on the bench. If you get an injury, that's bad luck, and that's it. But with the women, that's the way it's going to be now. Everyone's going to be even. But with the men, the medical sub will remain. So that's the only major change, I believe, to the rules for AFLW for the 2022 season. And now, Sainers, my favourite part of the video. Your questions. This one's from RJ Shags. RJ Shags. Love that name. He's asking, or she is asking, will Gresham be 100% fit for the start of 2022? Yes. I believe he started training kind of mid this season. There was footage of him training and running and slowly getting back into kicking. But yeah, he should be fully fit and ready to go for season 2022. No doubt about that. This one's from Tristan. Will Max King crack top 3 in the Coleman? I don't know if you mean next year or just in general, but in general, I think I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. But next year, if we want to make finals and we want to go even deeper into the finals and do something special, I feel like it would take something like Max King kicking 60 goals, and that would probably get him top 3 in the Coleman. But in general, in his career, yes, I believe he'll potentially win a couple of Colemans the way he's developing, and hopefully with some good delivery, we can get him those Colemans. Next one's from Josh. Who is our second best midfielder next year? That is an awesome question. I would say Zach Jones, but it could be anyone. That is the most amazing thing. You could say Brad Crouch. You could say Hunter Clark if he comes in and does a job. You could say Jade Gresham if he comes in and does a job and grows into the midfield. Dan Hanbury if he's fit. But right now, it's really up in the air. It's Jack Steele and then whoever the hell wants to follow Jack Steele. That's how it works. I hope we have a number of players next year that I can say they can all be our second best mid. The point is, we want it to be a really even spread. We don't want to have a clear 1 or 2 and that's it. We want it to be, everyone fighting for spots. And if that's for the second best midfielder behind Jack Steele, I hope that's enough to get them excited and to get them really motivated for next year. But right now, I would say Zach Jones. But I would not be surprised if it's someone else midway through next year. And last one, and this is a tough one. I mean, Saints TV, I usually am pretty good at answering the questions. But when they're hard-hitting questions like this, it is difficult. So this one's from Helen. She's asking, how do you like your eggs? Now, Thank you for asking, Helen. I'm always annoyed. No one asks me how I like my eggs, and I feel like that's quite disrespectful. I'm happy to share how I like my eggs. You just gotta ask me. Scrambled is generally my go. Kind of just a quick 30-second scrambled. It's pretty nice with a bit of avocado, even with some parmesan shaved on top, and you got some good scrambled eggs there. So we left the hardest one to last, so we'll end it there. Thank you again for watching Saints TV Weekly. Again, I say it every week, but if you haven't subscribed and you're enjoying these videos, please hit the subscribe button. We've clocked over 2,500 subs. We've gone up over 200 in the last week thanks to my call out on Facebook and Instagram. So thank you to all of you for subscribing. We also need to thank Inglewood Coffee Roasters for sponsoring the videos. You can go to www.inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au and use the discount code SAINTS30 and you'll get 30% off all of their products. And then you'll be sitting this time next week with some delicious Inglewood coffee watching another Saints TV Weekly. So until then, guys, take care of yourselves, have a fantastic week, and go you mighty Sainers.